Choice number 1, 20 new patients calling your office after clicking on a Google ad. Choice number 2, 15 new patients calling your office that already trust you, they know that they need dentistry, and they're willing to pay for it. We've heard so many amazing speakers this week talk about the mental health epidemic in dentistry right now, with stress, anxiety, you name it. One of the stressors for me, and I know I'm not alone in this, is the new patient exam. So patients come in, they may or may not know that they need dentistry, and if they don't know that they need dentistry or don't have an awareness of it, they definitely haven't budgeted for it. And guess who gets to be the bad guy to tell them that they have problems and they need to pay for them? We do, the dentists and the team. So I've actually had the experience of going from choice 1 to choice 2, and it turns out that the answer was right in front of me the entire time. So as a young dentist, fresh out of school, one of the things that I thought was so great was how the specialists used to court us. So I would get taken out to dinner, I would get taken out for drinks, they would constantly be dropping off gifts to my office, all in the name of trying to get me to send them my patients as referrals. So about 4 or 5 years ago, I was out to lunch with a local orthodontist, and I was all excited about this workshop that I just came back from on veneers. And I was telling him how excited I was to do more veneers. And through the course of conversation, he said, Ben, you know, I have this patient that I'm treating that doesn't have a general dentist, and I told her before I started treatment that she was gonna need a couple of veneers after because she's got peg laterals. I'm gonna send her to you. So fast forward a couple of weeks, the patient called, she scheduled a comprehensive exam. I walked in to do her exam, and I have to say, my experience with her was exponentially different. She had already trusted me because the orthodontist had said such great things about me and my practice. She already knew exactly what treatment she needed, and she was totally prepared to pay for it because she had already researched how much veneers cost. So after my experience with that patient, that's when I decided that I needed to come up with a strategy to reverse market to my specialists. And so what I did is I developed a 3-step strategy. Step 1 was I needed proof that I was capable of doing the type of dentistry that I wanted the referrals for. Step 2 was I needed to make it really easy for my specialists to refer to me. And step 3 was that I needed to consistently give my patients a really great experience. So what I'm gonna go over today, what I'm gonna show you how to do, is how to stop stepping over dollars to pick up dimes. I'm gonna show you how you can go from 0 new patient referrals every month to 10, 20, 30, or even more. So let's talk about step 1. So for step 1, you have to make sure that the specialists know what you're capable of. So the way that we do this is photography, photography, photography. So not only does dental photography help us to diagnose and treatment plan, and not only does it help us to educate our patients, but it helps to, in this case, it's essential in showing our specialists what we're capable of. So one of the things that I did is I used a website called Snapfish, and for $27, I made a really professional looking bound book with information about myself, information about my practice, and multiple before and after pictures of different cases that I had done, along with a patient blurb that talked about the patient's experience with me. Now, whenever I'm talking about this to different people, I'll get some pushback, and people will say, well, I haven't done any of these cases yet, so therefore I don't have any before and after pictures. So I have a solution to that. I call them tuition cases. So it can look something like this. Mrs. Jones, I know that you had shared with me that you're embarrassed about your smile, and we had talked about the benefits of restoring your upper 6 front teeth with some veneers. You had also shared with me that at this point you're not financially able to fit that in your budget currently. So what I'd like to do for you is I'd like to offer you a 50% reduction in your fee, and all I ask in return is that you sign a consent form that allows me to use your photos for marketing and advertising and to share with other patients. You'd be surprised who says yes when you offer a discount like that. So photography's proof is number one. Step two is you have to stay at the top of mind of your specialist, so constant contact. What I do every quarter, I'm in their office, I'm dropping off something, some sort of creative gift. I've made referral pads, so just like we all have drawers full of referral pads, you want to give that to your specialist too, so they have something to give the patient with your name on it for the patients that they want to send you. And then, of course, they're not going to send you new patients unless you ask for it. So just like we ask our patients for referrals, ask your specialists for referrals. And then step three, so after you get photography and after you get you're at the top of the mind of your specialist, step three is this may be a foregone conclusion, but you can't overlook the patient experience. You have to create raving fans in your practice. Every single time one of your patients walks into one of those specialists' office, they have to be talking about how amazing you are, how amazing your team is. They need to talk about how they were greeted by name when they walked in your office and it was so clean and everything just went so smoothly every single time that they see you. So after I was able to implement these three steps, I became a victim of my own success. And my schedule was so booked out with these big restorative cases that I no longer had time to go and spend with my specialists. So lucky for me, I had a team member step up. One of my hygienists, Sarah, volunteered to start doing these for me. And lucky for me, Sarah's a creative genius. So she took our gifts to our specialists to the next level. So we call them our specialist gift baskets. Now, I'm not talking about a gift basket that you go to Costco and you buy that's very generic. She puts together these most amazing personalized gifts, and they're so great that I don't even have to know anymore when she goes to make the deliveries because my cell phone is blowing up with text messages from all my specialists taking selfies with them and their team with all these really cool gifts. And then, of course, for 2 weeks after that, we're getting more referrals from our specialists. So we use that to stay at the top of their mind. So in my practice, or in our practice, we've given Sarah the title of Professional Relationship Concierge. So this is a key component, once you become successful with this, to implement in your practice. In whether you foster and train someone creative in your office, or I've actually, fortunately, been able to clone my Sarah, who's here today. And so we've been able to systematize and scale our quarterly program with our specialists so that we can offer instructional videos and shopping lists so that really anyone can copy what we do. And that's a service that we offer through Best Practices DDS. So however you do it, whether it's fostering and training someone in your office or using an outside service, find your Sarah. Now, what this has allowed me to do is it's allowed me to add an extra layer onto my new patient flow. And it's a relatively low investment for a really high rate of return. And one of the best things about this is that it's proven to be pandemic-proof. So not only did this continue to happen during the pandemic, but our new patient referrals went up because patients were looking for someone that they could trust and be safe in. And when that trust is transferred, it's a pandemic-proof strategy. So not only has this given me a financial return on investment, but it's given me an emotional return on investment because now I'm seeing a nice mix of patients that come in and I'm not as stressed out because I know that they already know that they need dentistry and I know that they already trust me. So I did this and you can too. Thanks.